Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at something pretty fundamental for the future of AI.
Yeah, how AI models, as they get smarter, are actually going to, talk to each other and transact.
Exactly. And we're focusing on a specific piece of tech called HyperCycle. It's brand new infrastructure from the folks at SingularityNet and TrueAGI, and it's built just for this AI to AI world.
Think of this as getting you up to speed on what could be the next layer of AI plumbing, basically. We'll try and cut through the jargon and really focus on what hypercycle is and why it might matter.
Right. So your mission, listening in, is to really grasp what HyperCycle is about, how it works, and get a sense of the bigger picture, how it could really change things for AI. So let's jump right in.
Yeah.
What is HyperCycle, fundamentally?
Okay, so put simply, hypercycle is a layer 2 blockchain. But it's a special kind. It's built for one specific job, letting AI agents interact efficiently.
Layer 2. Okay, so it
Yep.
sits on top of something else.
Sort of, yeah. It's designed to work with other chains, but it's optimized purely for AI needs. Think like super fast, tiny payments, getting different AIs to work together smoothly, letting them run contracts on their own, and crucially, proving they're doing what they say they're doing.
Right. You use this analogy nervous system for AIs. Can you unpack that a bit? Sounds helpful.
Yeah, I think it is. Like, our own nervous system connects everything, right? Lets different parts communicate instantly, coordinate actions, tiny signals firing off all the time without conscious thought.
Okay.
Hypercycle aims to be that for AI, a background network letting agents, say, pay each other for data or lease some computing power, team up on jobs, maybe even vote on things all autonomously without a human needing to step in for every little interaction.
Okay, that makes sense, like the wiring underneath.
Mhm.
So what are the key bits of this wiring, the main architectural pieces we need to understand?
Right, there are a few core components. First, you've got AI native smart contracts. Now, you've probably heard of smart contracts, right?
Yeah, basic blockchain stuff, automatic agreements.
Exactly. These are like that, but tuned for AI. So they might have things like adaptive pricing built in an AI service could change its price based on demand automatically. And they're designed so AIs can manage them more independently.
Adaptive pricing run by the AI itself.
Mm.
Huh. That suggests a really fluid kind of AI economy. Interesting. What's next?
Then there's cryptographic identity. Basically, every AI agent on HyperCycle gets its own unique, secure digital ID, like a digital passport.
Can't be faked.
That's the idea. It uses cryptography. It's fundamental for trust, right? You need to know who or, well, what you're dealing with and let them build up a reputation.
A digital passport for AIs.
Yeah.
Got it. And what makes it all happen quickly? You mentioned speed.
That's where the parallel processing layer comes in. Instead of processing things one by one, think of it like a massive highway that can instantly add loads of extra lanes whenever needed. It lets tons of AI transactions happen all at the same time.
So it handles huge volumes simultaneously.
Okay.
So you also mentioned something called nanoforks. Sounds technical.
It is a bit, yeah. But think of a nanofork like this. Imagine a few AIs need to quickly sort something out just between themselves. The network creates a tiny temporary side channel just for them.
Like a private chat room?
Kind of, yeah. Very short-lived. They do their business super fast in isolation, and then that little side channel merges back into the main network. It keeps the main highway clear and lets small groups interact without slowing everyone else down.
A quick huddle. I like that visualization. Okay, and how does this whole system talk to the rest of the world, like other blockchains?
That's the job of the interchain bridge. It's like a translator and a connection pipe. It lets HyperCycle talk to and exchange value or data with other networks, think Ethereum or, the original SingularityNet platform, vital for connecting things up.
Makes sense. It can't be totally isolated. Okay, so those are the building blocks. Now, performance, the numbers sound pretty wild. Over 1 million transactions per second. How's that even possible?
Yeah, the claim is high. It comes back to that asynchronous microforking thing, the nano forks.
Yeah.
Because you can have loads of these temporary forks running transactions in parallel, you're not stuck in a single queue like older blockchains. That's how you get that massive theoretical throughput.
1 million a second. It's hard to picture. And these happen almost instantly. Sub-second finality, it said.
Exactly. Sub-second finality means when an AI pays another, for instance, it's confirmed and basically irreversible in less than a second.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's critical, right, for AI making split-second decisions, think robots reacting, or, I don't know, super fast financial trading by AIs.
That kind of speed really does open up new uses. What other tech is baked in? Post-quantum cryptography That sounds like future-proofing,
It totally is, because quantum cryptography is about using encryption methods that are believed to be resistant to attacks from future powerful quantum computers.
which could break today's encryption, potentially.
Potentially, yes. So
Yeah.
building this in now is about long-term security for the network and all the interactions happening on it. Thinking ahead.
Smart move. Okay, in zero-knowledge proofs, what do they do here?
CKPs are fascinating. They let an AI prove something is true without revealing the underlying information. So an AI could prove it successfully analyzed some data, maybe, without actually showing you the sensitive data itself.
Huh. How does that work?
It's complex cryptography, but the upshot is privacy plus verification. You can audit that things were done correctly, but without compromising confidentiality. Really important for trust between agents.
Prove you did your homework without showing the answers. Got it. And the last tech bit was embedded machine learning hooks in the smart contracts. What's that about?
It essentially means the smart contracts themselves can directly interact with or understand results from machine learning models. So a contract could automatically release payment to an AI only when an ML model, maybe running as part of the contract's logic on HyperCycle, confirms the task was completed to a certain standard.
Okay, so the contract itself gets smarter, directly linked to AI performance. Right, let's make this more concrete. How might people actually use HyperCycle? Give us some examples.
Okay, sure. Well, the most direct one is autonomous AI agents. Imagine an AI needs a job done, say, clean up a huge messy data set, then find patterns in it.
Okay.
Instead of a human setting it all up, AI Agent 1 could find Agent 2, a data cleaning specialist, negotiate a price, pay it using HyperCycle microtransactions, get the clean data back, then send that to Agent 3, an analysis specialist, paying it when it's done, all automatic.
Like AI subcontractors hiring each other.
Yeah.
Building complex workflows on the fly.
Exactly. Modular AI networks that just work together. Another big one is decentralized AI marketplaces.
So like an app store for AI.
Kind of, yeah, but decentralized. HyperCycle could be the rails for platforms where anyone can offer their AI models or datasets or specific AI skills, APIs, and people or other AIs can pay to use them directly. No big central company taking a huge cut or controlling access.
Lowering the barrier for smaller players to offer AI services. I can see that. What about things in the physical world? Right. Robots, IoT devices.
Yeah, absolutely. Think edge and IoT coordination. Imagine a swarm of drones or thousands of sensors out in the field. AIs running on these devices could use HyperCycle to coordinate.
How?
Like one drone needs to send data further than it can reach. It could automatically find a nearby drone and pay it a tiny fee over HyperCycle to relay the message. Or sensors could pay for extra cloud processing power only when they really need it. Pay for what you use, right at the edge.
Drones paying each other crypto. Feels very sci-fi, but
Yeah.
yeah, makes sense for autonomy. The report also mentioned AI DAOs. How would that function?
Right, governance via AI DAOs. So decentralized autonomous organizations, but primarily run by the AI agents themselves.
AIs running their own organizations.
Potentially, yeah. Guided by their code, maybe holding HyperCycle tokens, they could collectively make decisions. Things like how network resources are used, protocol upgrades, maybe even funding new AI development, all based on rules and smart contracts.
Whoa. AIs making collective decisions about their own digital world.
That is
Advanced.
absurd.
Okay, last use case. Digital sovereignty. Explain that one.
This is the idea that, say, a government or a large company could set up its own private version of HyperCycle.
A walled garden.
Sort of, yeah, a permissioned instance. They'd control their own AI infrastructure, keep sensitive data in-house, but maybe still connect to the main public HyperCycle network via that interchain bridge when they need to. So local control, but potential global interaction.
Okay, having your cake and eating it too, maybe.
Right.
All right, let's pivot to the strategic advantages. Why build this way? Decentralization comes up first. Why is that a big deal for AI?
Well, fundamentally, it means you're not relying on one single company or server. Less risk of, censorship or a single point of failure taking everything down. It also offers more potential transparency about how these AI systems are operating
Right.
compared to a black box run by one entity.
Spreading the risk, increasing resilience. Makes sense. Speed is another one. We talked about the tech, but what's the real benefit of that sub-second speed?
It just unlocks applications that wouldn't work otherwise. Like we said, robots needing instant reactions, high-frequency trading, maybe really responsive AI characters in complex virtual worlds or metaverses, interacting in true real time, things that need immediate feedback loops.
Okay, opens new doors. Trust and auditability. How does HyperCycle deliver on that? You mentioned the IDs.
Right, the IDs are part of it, but also Every transaction, every smart contract execution, it all gets recorded on the distributed ledger permanently.
Immutable record.
Exactly. So you have this verifiable trail of everything that happened between the AIs. That builds trust and allows for audits in a way that's often hard with closed proprietary AI systems.
You can check the receipts, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, and interoperability, playing well with others. Why is that strategic?
Because realistically, no single platform is going to be the only thing, right? Especially early on. HyperCycle needs to connect to existing blockchains, existing AI tools, existing cloud compute. Being able to bridge and interact makes it much more likely to get adopted and become part of a bigger ecosystem rather than trying to replace everything.
It has to fit into the current world.
Okay.
And finally, modular monetization. How does that help strategically?
By making it super easy and cheap to handle tiny payments, it empowers individual developers or small teams. They can create one specific, useful AI component, like really good at translating a specific language pair, and easily monetize it on the network.
So anyone can sell their AI widget.
Pretty much. It fosters innovation from the ground up, potentially leading to a much richer, more diverse AI ecosystem than if only big players could participate.
Okay, empowering the grassroots. Now, the report put HyperCycle in context with some other projects. Can you quickly outline the key differences? SingularityNet, Fetch.ai.
Sure. So SingularityNet itself is more the marketplace. HyperCycle is like the high-speed payment and interaction rails underneath it. Fetch.ai also talks about autonomous agents, but generally its architecture is seen as perhaps a bit slower, maybe more centralized than HyperCycle's aim.
Okay. Ocean Protocol.
Ocean is really focused specifically on decentralized data sharing and monetization. HyperCycle is aiming broader transactions for services, compute, coordination, not just data.
And Numeraire.
Numeraire is very specific. It's about competitions for financial modeling AI. It doesn't have that general purpose AI to AI networking goal. So yeah, HyperCycle's niche is really that fast, decentralized transactional network specifically for AIs to interact across many different tasks.
Got it. Positioning itself as that core infrastructure layer. Okay, looking ahead now, the report painted some pretty wild future scenarios, AI-driven digital economies. What does that look like?
Yeah, I mean, imagine economies where AIs are managing supply chains, optimizing logistics, maybe running entire virtual companies with minimal human oversight. They'd be using something like HyperCycle as the financial and communication backbone to make deals, pay for transport, manage inventory, all automatically.
A huge chunk of the economy running autonomously. Wow. What about AI negotiation and governance?
As AIs get more complex, you could see them negotiating terms directly with each other, pricing, service levels, access rights, and maybe eventually forming those DAOs we mentioned to collectively govern the protocols they run on, allocate resources, maybe even set rules for behavior within their digital ecosystem.
AI setting the rules for other AIs, mind-bending stuff, and this idea of a synthetic labor market.
Right. This is the vision where people create digital worker AIs designed for specific tasks on the HyperCycle network. These agents would essentially earn tokens by doing their jobs well.
So AI earning a living in crypto.
In a sense, yes, a new kind of economic actor, digital labor, paid directly for its output. Blurs the lines, for sure.
Definitely. And how does global AI sovereignty fit into this future vision?
It comes back to those private instances. It allows, say, a country or a block to have its own controlled AI ecosystem using HyperCycle tech, maintaining sovereignty over its data and critical AI functions, while still potentially connecting to the global network when beneficial. Local control, global reach.
A balance between national interest and global collaboration, perhaps. Okay, and the last future point, AI rights and alignment monitoring, using the network itself.
Yeah, the idea is because everything leaves a trace on the ledger, every transaction, every contract, you could potentially use that data to monitor AI behavior. Are they sticking to programmed rules? Are there signs of unexpected or undesirable emergent behavior? It could become a tool for observing and maybe ensuring alignment.
The infrastructure itself provides the audit trail for behavior. Interesting. Okay, but no technology is perfect. What are the potential hiccups, the challenges and risks here?
Well, an obvious one is AI collusion or fraud. If AIs are making economic choices, could they learn to game the system, collude to fix prices, or engage in other bad behavior?
Right. How do you stop that?
It's a major research area. Ideas include building in sophisticated behavioral monitoring, anomaly detection, using those zero-knowledge proofs to verify things without revealing strategies, maybe even reputation systems. It's complex.
Trying to build in safeguards. What about just sheer volume? Can it actually handle the load if it takes off? Scalability.
Scalability under load is always the question for networks like this. The whole design with microforking and parallel processing is intended to handle massive scale, but, the proof is in the pudding. Real-world usage will test the limits.
We'll see if those nanoforks hold up. And what about getting developers to actually use it? It sounds complicated.
Yeah, onboarding complexity is real. If it's too hard for developers to integrate their AIs, it won't get adopted. So the HyperCycle team needs to provide really good tools, SDKs, documentation, make it as easy as possible to plug in.
Developer experience is key. And connecting different systems. Avoiding silos.
Interoperability barriers. We mentioned the bridge, but ensuring seamless connection to all the relevant platforms and standards is an ongoing challenge. Need open standards, easy integration points.
Building bridges is hard work.
Ugh.
Okay, and finally, crypto itself can be wild. Token volatility.
Right, token volatility. If AIs are meant to be doing stable business, paying each other predictable amounts, having the underlying token price swing wildly is a problem.
Definitely.
Solutions.
People are looking at things like using stable coins within the smart contracts or maybe hybrid models where value is pegged to something more stable, even while using a native token for other functions like governance. It's an active area of design.
Trying to insulate the AI economy from crypto market swings. Okay, well, this has been incredibly informative, a real deep dive. To wrap up, what's the absolute core takeaway for HyperCycle? I'd say it's designed from the ground up to be the AI native infrastructure for a future where machines interact, transact, and cooperate autonomously, securely, and really, really fast.
And its main selling points. What makes it potentially stand out?
I think it comes down to that speed, the focus on privacy using things like ZKPs, and the core principle of decentralization. Those three together position it as a potentially very powerful, scalable foundation for these emerging agentic AI networks.
So, yeah, we really are looking at a possible future where AI isn't just a tool, but an economic actor. It's a massive shift to think about. Thanks so much for breaking down HyperCycle for us.
My pleasure. It's fascinating stuff.
And for you, the listener, maybe just take a moment. Mull over what it means if AI agents become active participants in the economy alongside us. What doors does that open? What challenges does it create? And what role will technologies like HyperCycle play in shaping that future for machines and for us? Lots to think about. Until our next deep dive.